Hey guys, a very good evening to all of you. This is Yogendra from Fosk. Guys, using chat window, please give me a confirmation. Is my audio clear to you and screen is visible? Okay, so Pranjal and Renaud, Saxena, Shinde, okay, a lot of people giving me a confirmation, guys. The things are good. Okay, so guys, welcome to Fosk. Guys, as the title is there on the screen, right? What is the title of this event that we are going to do? The event of this title is Career Outlook and Job Readiness for Data Scientists in India. Okay, that is the way. Now, guys, you can clearly understand that we are going to talk about that what are the job opportunities in the Indian market if you want to become a data analyst, if you want to become a data scientist, if you want to become a business analyst, if you want to, work in the domain of machine learning, deep learning, right? A overall area which is called as data science. That is one thing we are going to talk about. Okay. Then we will talk about that how come you can get these opportunities and how come you can prepare yourself, and we'll also talk about that why you should prepare for this domain, guys. So a lot of things would be there, and because it's very difficult to cover this discussion just within one single day or a single session, guys. So what we have done, we have kind of designed this event for 3 days, guys. So this event is going to be a 3 days event. Okay, on the day one, guys, on the day one, we are going to talk about the job opportunities in this domain, right? Very specific to Indian market. Okay, very specific, right? Job opportunities in Indian market. And what job opportunities, guys? Data science roles or data scientist roles, right? So we are going to talk about data science. That would be the day one coverage, guys. On the day two and day three, guys, basically these 2 days we are going to talk about a data science project case study, guys. These 2 days. So guys, next 2 days, right? Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we will talk about that how come there was a client problem with us few months back and how we solved that using data science approaches, using data science technologies. So guys, what would be the kind of flow during these 2 days? We will talk about the problem statement, that what was the problem statement given to us during one of the development project activity which was going with our team. So what the client a problem was. So we'll talk about that problem statement. Then we'll talk about the high level design of the solution, guys. Okay, and then we'll talk about the implementation as well. So what the tool, what the technology, right? What approach we use to solve or deliver that project, guys. So that would be a kind of an end-to-end coverage of the case study, guys. Okay, and this is the case study which has been taken from our a consultation business only, guys. Okay, this is not something taken from the internet or somebody else case study. This is our own case study, and this is going to be a really, really interesting part, guys. Okay, so I hope these 3 days schedule is now clear with everyone sitting in this room, guys. Okay, that what we are going to talk about today. So today, first we want to see the ground realities that that everybody is talking about data science, right? What is the reality? So guys, we are going to do a reality check on those opportunities, right? Today we'll talk about a lot of things around that, and then next 2 day, guys, 2 days we will be talking about a case study, a project that we recently delivered and completed to the client, and we'll talk about the problem statement and what went into that project development as activities, and how come we finally delivered that project. So that will give us or give you a kind of an idea that how come the data science projects are developed. Okay, that mindset, that what the mindset you should have if you want to work as a data scientist, you want to work as an analyst. So that is will happen on the next 2 days. So I think this kind of a schedule is okay with all of you guys. Are you ready to take on this, guys? Please let me know. Right, today we talk about the career outlook, job opportunities in Indian market. Okay, a lot of people are saying yes to me now. Okay, obviously, right? A lot of people. Okay, somebody saying yes, of course. Someone saying yes, ready. Someone saying yes. Okay, that's good. Pooja, Pranjal. Okay, thank you, guys. And now, guys, one more thing before I start on my part. It's always good to be a kind of interactive during the workshop or webinar. Okay, that's a live event, that's an online event, but that doesn't stop you asking the questions, guys. Okay, so what we have done, guys, once I'm done from my side, we will have a question and answers session, guys. Okay, where I will try to answer each and every question. And because there can be a lot of questions in the pipeline, right? There can be a lot of questions in the pipeline, so it might kind of take minutes or few minutes before I come to your question and answer that. So there might be a little delay in the response, but that is for sure, guys, that I'm going to take up each and every question. You can put your question in the chat window. I will read it loud when I reach there and answer that question in the public. I hope this format is like kind of clear with everyone. Taksh, you can ask your question if you can hold it at end till the end of the session where we have this Q&A session. Okay, I will open up for the questions. Don't worry, there you can definitely ask the question. Is that clear, guys? Is everybody settled and charged? And then can we start now? Yeah, Taksh, thank you. Maheshwaran, okay, a lot of people saying yes. Okay, good, guys. Yeah, thank you, Vipin. Now, guys, one thing, right, that I want to start with a statement that I'm going to read it loud. The demand for data scientists in India is at all-time high, guys. Whether these openings are for freshers, whether these openings are for junior developers, whether these openings are for senior developers, okay, whether these openings are for research wing, in every segment, guys, okay, in every segment, there is a demand for the people who want to work in the data science domain. Okay, that is there. Now, there is a question coming to me that do you provide certification for this workshop? Guys, if you participate during this event all the 3 days, okay, we are going to issue a free certificate to you. It will come to you over your email. So once the event is over, right, we will compile the data, compile the list of attendees, and we will issue the certificate for all the people, right? That is there. Yeah, Mr. Rana, you will definitely get it. Okay. So guys, as I said, the demand for the data scientist in every category, at every level, there is a high demand for the people. And even the salaries, the paychecks are kind of on the higher side, guys, on the higher side. Okay. Now, before I talk about more details around that or those opportunities, guys, couple of things regarding the FOSC. So guys, this webinar is brought to you by FOSC. This is known to you all now. I'm Yogendra, the director and founder at FOSC Technologies. And along with me, my team is there, guys in the room, Sylvester, Lakshya, Ria, Priyanka, Dushyant, everybody is there. Guys, the FOSC was founded 6 years back in 2015. Okay, and guys, we work in the two areas. The one area is consultation and project development, guys. That is the one area we work. Okay, consultation and development. We consult projects primarily in data science area, but experience is like that my experience is around 15 plus years into the industry. Sylvester is around 20 years into industry. So we have seen all kinds of development activities. It's not only limited to data analytics, mobile application, embedded software development, web applications, almost everything, right? But as of now, focus on the data science part is there, guys. Okay, the FOSC is primarily focused on that. So that is the one area we work. And the other area is that we have a coding school, guys. Okay, with the name FOSC Coding School. So FOSC Coding School helps people to build career in data science, analytics, ML, DL, and AI. So these are the two things. Now, guys, yeah, Taksh, we work on data science projects. And that's why I said you right. We work in the consultation and the development, and the projects that we do is a data science projects. Now, guys, if you want to look at my profile, that who am I, okay, and Sylvester as well. So I'm just going to share you the LinkedIn profile with you guys, okay. So guys, this is the LinkedIn profile, guys. So there you can see all the details related to the work experience and on all right. In case you want to get connected, you all are welcome on that. If you want to get more details around FOSC, guys, okay, we were recently covered, right? We were recently covered by Your Story, which is the largest digital media, agency that covers primarily, guys, startups in India. So that's the link I have, okay. And Manoj, you will get your certificates over email, so let the event get over. After that, you will get all the certificates, okay, Manoj. Now, guys, before we get more details around data science career and opportunities, okay, let me talk about that what the data science is doing in IT industry, right? Okay, how people are using data science. So guys, data science provides valuable insights into customer behavior, And those insights can lead to increased conversions, increased revenue, increased business, right? Detailed market analysis can be done using data science for competitive advantage. Okay. And people are using data science activities for product development as well, improved operational efficiencies, and minimizing the risk, right, through accurate forecasting models. So guys, data science is not a kind of a limited field, guys. It's a vast domain, guys. Okay, it's a full a ocean full of information. So guys, almost every company, whether it's a tech or a non-tech company, guys, okay, whether it's a technology company or whether it's a non-tech company, all companies are now using data science and AI to improve their businesses, to improve the customer experience, to minimize the risk. Okay, lot of things, data science and AI is being now used. Okay, now guys, before we move on and talk about the opportunities, I think I should take 5 minutes where I should define couple of terms for you. Okay, where I should define couple of terms for you, because those terms, once are clear to you, you would be in a better position to understand the market requirements, understand the opportunities for you. So let me talk about couple of things, guys. Okay, guys, let's first talk about what exactly the AI is. Okay, what exactly the AI is. In the current reference, guys, in the reference of this webinar, the AI means artificial intelligence. So when you are in data science domain, guys, okay, obviously, AI would be the kind of thing that you would be, dealing with. So guys, AI stands for artificial intelligence. That is one thing. But what exactly the AI is? So guys, now I'm going to define what the AI is. Okay, so guys, listen carefully. Any machine, guys, so when I say machine, guys, like software system or like hardware system or a combination of both. So any machine which behaves like human, okay, any machine which behaves like human is AI machine, guys. Okay, is AI machine. That is the simplest definition as of now I can give. Okay, any machine which behaves like human is an AI machine. But guys, as a human, we take hundreds of decisions from morning to evening, depending on the time, depending on the knowledge we have, depending on the context, right? Every human is capable of taking the decisions based on the timings, knowledge, context, and a lot of other factors. But guys, machines can only do one or two specific tasks. They cannot be, as of now at least, they cannot be a general replica of the human behavior in every sense, right? That machine would be doing one or two specific tasks very similar to humans do. Okay, and that's why, guys, we call this as narrow AI. Can you see, guys? Narrow AI. There is one more term called general AI. So what do you mean by general AI? Right? What is the general AI? The general AI means you have kind of completely replicated human behavior in every sense. Then it would be called as a general AI. But as of now, guys, it's very difficult to create an AI machine which is a complete replica of the humans. That's why, as of now, guys, we are here narrow AI. Okay, so any machine which behaves like human is an AI machine. Now, guys, question comes that how come you can enable your machine? How come you can enable your system as an AI machine? As of now, it is not AI. But how come I can, develop a AI machine? How come I can develop a AI program? So guys, to enable your machine as a AI machine, as of now, the most prevalent way or the most popular approach right now is machine learning. Guys, so what is machine learning? I'm not giving the formal definition of the machine learning. I will give the formal definition of the machine learning tomorrow. But I have given this, kind of update to you guys that machine learning, okay, is a method to achieve AI. It's a way to achieve AI. It's a strategy to achieve AI. So using machine learning, you can achieve AI, guys. Okay. So machine learning is the way through which you can, enable your machine as an AI machine. Okay. Now, guys, sometimes what may happen, okay. Now, if you are using neural networks to process your information, to process your data, to enable your machine as an AI machine, guys, okay. So guys, neural network is a kind of architecture in computer science world, okay, to process the data. So if you are using neural networks to process the data, process the information, okay, then this is called as deep learning. Guys, what it called? Deep learning. So if I draw a kind of a diagram to give you a better clarity, guys, this is your AI world, let's say. Okay, this is your AI world. And to achieve AI, what is the method or what is the way? Machine learning is the way to achieve AI. And within the machine learning, if you are using neural networks, NN, okay, then it is called as deep learning. So guys, can you see? To achieve AI, machine learning is there. And within machine learning, if you are using neural networks, then we are going to call it as a deep learning. So deep learning is kind of a specific name given to machine learning if you are using neural networks to process the data. Okay, that is there, guys. Okay, now guys, here you can see that ML is not the only way to achieve AI. There can be other ways to achieve AI, but as of now, the most prominent, most prevalent way to achieve AI is machine learning. So I hope this is clear to you guys that what is the relation between AI, ML, and DL. So guys, can you give me a kind of a response that are you guys clear? Are you guys comfortable so far? So Digvijay, Hari, Renault, a lot of people, okay, a lot of people are actually, Sagar, Bhaskar, a lot of people are saying yes to me. Okay, Kirti, good guys, thank you, thanks for the response, guys. Okay, so this is kind of initial setup, guys, so that we can, discuss the things in a better light, because now we have a little clarity. Okay, and time to come in next 2 days, guys, you will get more clarity. We will formally define what the machine learning is from the maths point of view, right? From the mathematical point of view, we will define the machine learning. Okay, and we'll see all other internal, nomenclature and details related to machine learning, guys. Okay, so that is going to be there. Now, guys, because data science is what you do around data is all data science. You analyze the data, it's data science, right? You use that data to find the patterns. You use that data to kind of predict the things in future. That is all data science, guys. Okay, that's all the data science. Now, guys, there is a question coming to me that what are the other ways of achieving AI? So because of the computation power we have right now, right, and the memory storage capacities we have right now to achieve AI, I think this is the kind of major way to achieve AI. Machine learning is the major way, right? Prominently. But there can be other ways as well where you do not use machine learning, but you use a set of rule sets. If this happens, then do this. If this happens, do that. If this happens, so you take all the use cases into consideration and decide what is going to be the response. In that way, also, you can kind of create a AI machine. But that is very, very difficult to achieve because as a human, right, covering all the use cases, what can be the input, what should be the output, what are the boundary cases, where what should be the case, right? It would be very difficult to cover all those cases, but that is possible. It can be done without ML as well. And that's why, guys, because machine learning, because of the computation and memory, it has become kind of achievable, which was like may not be the case 30 years back or 20 years back or even 5 years back. Okay, and that's why now we are in position where we can use ML to achieve the AI in a most efficient way. Digvijay. Okay. Yeah, Pranjal. Okay. So now, guys, one more thing. Data science is all about making decisions or making predictions, right? So taking the decisions, okay, making the predictions about the future, okay, all that. Okay. Now, guys, data science, whenever you talk about the data science, obviously you're dealing with the data. Now, guys, data generation can happen through lot of ways. Okay, social media platforms are generating a lot of data, right? Social media platform every day generates terabytes of data, guys. Facebook, Instagram, okay, you talk about any social media, that is there. Now, guys, technologies like IoT as well, generating a lot of data, because in IoT, Internet of Things, what happens? We collect the data through sensors. Okay, a sensor to collect humidity data, sensor to collect temperature data, sensor to collect rainfall data, sensor to, collect so many things. So there is a sensor for almost every data collection process. So IoT also, becomes as a channel to collect the data, guys. Okay, even a lot of data is being generated through our smartphones as well, right? So smartphones are also generating a data. That data can be stored locally, that data can be stored on the cloud, on a remote location, right? So that is there. Even the blockchain, right, a new technology. Okay, so all of these are generating a humongous amount of data, guys. Okay, and to process that data, we need certain techniques. Okay, and to process that, to analyze that, right, and finding the patterns out of this, taking the decision based on that data, that all comes inside data science, guys. That all comes data science. Okay, and that's why, guys, with the emergence of disruptive technologies like IoT, digital media platforms, smartphones, okay, quantum computing, blockchain, right, the data science has come to a central role in organizational success. If a business want to get succeed, if a company wants to get succeed, it has to use data science. They cannot push it, right, they cannot kind of stand without data science decisions, guys. Okay, now guys, Yataksh, I'll talk about that. Okay, please. Now guys, one more thing, listen that carefully, guys. India as of now is the second largest hub of the data scientists. Guys, mind it, I repeat, India has become the second largest hub of the data scientist or data science, activities in the world. And that's why, guys, there is a very high demand of the people who has the right skills, okay, who has the right acumen to work as a data scientist or a data analyst. Okay, now guys, because of the higher demand, okay, there is a high salary growth of the people working in DS or working in ML domain. ML means machine learning, guys. Okay, and guys, if I give or share some numbers with you to justify my point, since 2012, guys, okay, since 2012, the data science sector has seen a massive growth of 650%, guys, since 2012, right? So almost in last 10 years, guys, okay, the growth has been massive and the growth has been close to 650%. And guys, one more thing which can be really interesting for you to know, that average salary of a data scientist in India is, average salary I'm talking about, the average salary of a data scientist in India, right, is around 10 lakh per annum, guys. Where the average salary of a software engineer in India, right, the average salary of a software engineer, okay, in India is around 5.4 L per annum. But guys, these are the just average numbers, okay? These are just the average number, okay? Let me talk about a few more numbers around this, okay? That according to a recruitment firm, guys, I'm talking about India perspective, guys, according to the recruitment firm Michael, Pazes, okay? According to this recruitment firm, what number they have kind of shared, guys, in the public domain, and this is the report in 2021 only, guys. This is a very recent report from them, and they call that report as India Talent Trend, okay? India Talent Trend. The data science professionals with 3 to 10 years of experience, guys, okay? The data science professionals with the 3 to 10 years of experience get annual salaries in the range of 25L to 65L, guys. Okay, that is there. And if you have a more experience than that, it can go up to 1 crore as well. And if I talk about freshers, guys, okay, if I talk about freshers, so when I say fresher, like, if you have like no experience or less than 1 year experience or just 6 months experience, this salary can be from 3L to 7L, guys. This is the range for freshers that the companies are offering, right? The company can be a big company can be a startup company, it can be a mid-cap company, it can be a technical, it can be a non-technical, but this is the range, guys, okay, which has been, right, are there, guys, okay? Now, Piyush, please keep this question till the end. I'll definitely answer this, okay? And some interesting, findings for you would be there. Okay. Now, guys, not only the package part. I think if you want to join any domain or any field, you should also focus on that. What is the growth? So guys, okay, the average annual pay hike for data science professionals, the average annual pay hike for data science professionals falls between 20% to 30%. I'm talking about year on year hike, guys. If you do not switch the company, right, if you switch the company, it can go up to 100% or even 150% or 200% as well, right, depending on your experience, depending on your location, depending on the company as well. Okay. And for other professionals, so guys, I was talking about like average salary of a data scientist is 10 lakh, and the annual hike would be ranging from 20 to 30%. Okay. And for a normal software developer, this is the case, guys, 5.4. Okay. And guys, this one, if it is like a normal salary, then it is 15 to 20%. That is there. Okay. Now, guys, almost every business or every industry is now using data science. Okay. So, Latif, I'm going to talk about the career outlook only today. So you will get a little disappointment. Okay. So let's focus on the current discussion, and then, we'll answer or like, take the questions on that. Now, guys, now I'll talk about that, what are the primary sectors where data science or AI or ML is being used. Almost every business or industry is using them now. I know one of the case, guys, we recently consulted a company which works in gems and jewelry domain. Can you see, guys? Gems and jewelry is their business. They make, jewelry, right? They have, e-commerce store where they sell all those gems and jewelry, right, across 18 countries, guys. Okay. It was a decent sized company. And we have helped them setting up a AI team, guys. Okay, that is there. So now, guys, let's talk about that. What are the kind of areas or industries which are using AI? So, guys, telecom is one of the area. Predictive maintenance, lifetime value prediction, right, is one area where AI is is being used. Financial services. Okay, portfolio management, fraud detections, algorithm trading, all those things come in financial services, guys. Healthcare is using AI a lot. Detection and diagnosis of the disease, treatment recommendation, discovery of the new drugs. Okay, that is AI is being used in the education sector as well, right, to analyze learning of the people, right, content analytics, performance analytics, right, all of that area in education, AI is being used, guys. Travel industry, guys. Okay, dynamic pricing, prediction system, user experience management, fraud detection, right, in that area. You talk about Make My Trip or like other similar companies. They guys are using AI and ML techniques, guys. Okay, retail business, price optimization, supply chain planning, optimized route planning for the delivery. Okay, retail is being used. E-commerce, customer reviews, dashboards, and all that, right? These are some of the highlighted areas. But as I told you guys, right, even a non-technical company, a company working in textile, company working in gems and jewelry, company working in a civil construction, banking sector, almost everywhere nowadays AI in data science activities, or a data science team is working, guys. Now guys, analysts are predicting that the country will have, the India, okay, the country will have more than 11 million job openings by 2026, guys. So increasing demand for data science professionals, okay, rapid digitization of the business is primary reason for that actually there, because of the COVID, guys, you know, this space has increased a lot. Almost every business is moving for digitization. They are using digital services now, okay, and that's why the need or the demand for the data science professional has, you know, kind of increased. Now guys, if I talk about a few more numbers, like in since 2019, okay, hiring in the data science industry has increased by 46%, guys. You know, if you talk about the recent, like, you know, a kind of a demand of the data science professionals in this domain, guys, okay, since 2019 the hiring in the data science industry has increased by 46%. Now guys, when you talk about data science, okay, everybody says, you know, we need data scientists, but guys, there are kind of different roles and sub roles in data science domain. So if I talk about some of the roles, in every role is not a data scientist, guys, okay. So guys, generally if you are a fresher, for example, you want to start your career in data science domain, generally you start your career as an analyst, data analyst basically, where you use, okay, a kind of a data, you use some tools, you use your coding skills to kind of analyze or find out the patterns, okay, in the data, visualize that data, right? Visualize means showing your data in a graphical format is known as visualization. So it is, you know, a data analyst role. Over the years, you gather the experience, okay, by working in different domains. So let's say you're working for a client which is a big insurance company, okay. Let's say you're working with a client which is a big healthcare company. Let's say you are working with a client which is a big, you know, retail chain management company. Let's say you're working with a client which is kind of a logistic, a company, okay. Or let's say you are working with a client which is kind of, which has a fleet of, thousands of, ships to kind of, kind of, transfer the freight over the ship routes and all that. Once you have that experience, right, working in the insurance domain, working in the healthcare domain, once you work on that, you come to know that how that sector is working. So that domain knowledge you get while working on those projects. So once you have the domain knowledge, guys, okay, then only you can become the data scientist. Without domain knowledge, and just by knowing the, coding, just by knowing the tools, okay, you cannot be called as a data analyst. Although any company can give you any fancy title, that doesn't matter, guys. Even if the company says that you are a junior data scientist or a senior data scientist, if you have no prior experience, you are just starting your career, most of the time you would be only doing data analyst, guys, data analytics activities on. And once you get more experience, right, then you would be really a data scientist in the true sense, guys. Okay. Now there are different titles, guys, okay. And it's a very, from company to company, this keeps on changing. So data scientist is one of the title, guys. And guys, what is interesting to know, data scientist was a term coined by Indian actually, Dr. DJ Patil. Okay, so Dr. DJ Patil coined this term for the first time, data scientist, who was the first chief data scientist in US actually. So during the Obama, when Obama was the president, Dr. DJ Patil was appointed as a chief data scientist in US, guys, and he coined this term, data scientist. Okay. If you have a more experience, guys, you can become data architect as well, which is the most kind of highest salary a person in the organization, probably, right? Data architect. Okay. BI engineer, business intelligence, guys. Okay, that can be the one of the title. Okay, a business analyst, that can be one of the title, guys, if you are in data science domain. Okay, I'm talking about different data engineer, you're playing with the data, you are cleaning the data, right? You are changing the format of the data from one format to another, right? That can be the case. Or it can be simply as analytics manager, right? You are managing a team of analysts, right? So it can be analytics manager. So there can be different titles and roles, guys. Okay, if you are into a data science, from company to company, these titles, the names may change, the role or the responsibility set may change, right? So that would be kind of your a career, a path, guys. Okay, you enter as a data analyst and then you become the data scientist. You have more experience, then you can probably go to the data architect, but again, a data scientist kind of a role on. Now, guys, one more thing. As per the studies, guys, okay, hiring a data scientist by a company takes more time as compared to hiring a normal engineer. So if you want to hire a engineer, it takes around 6 to 8 weeks. But if you want to hire a data scientist, it may take around 11 to 12 weeks. So you can see, guys, why the long duration, because people are not there. Resumes are, received every day by the company, but when they analyze, when they talk to the people are not in the right fit position. They have written that I know Python, they have written I know R, but they are not able to answer the questions in a right way. They are not able to explain the project they have done. Okay, they are kind of kind of gap is there actually, what industry is looking for and what you guys have, or the someone who is interested in this domain is. So there is obviously, right, there is obviously a gap, and I think this gap can be kind of filled or reduced if you work on the projects. The more projects you work on, guys, you are in a better position to face any interview. Okay, or kind of, so if I take a recent example, we have a student on our academy with the name Priyanka. Okay, and she is kind of right now she is going through the hiring process with Tiger Analytics, which is one of the very good company into analytics in India, guys. Okay, and so she has already cleared the 2 rounds, and she is preparing for the 3rd and the final round. And most of the time they only talk about what projects you have done. If you can explain your project work very well, I think you are in a good position to crack the interview, guys. So there is a question that how much excellence we need in coding for the data science. Digvijay, if you can understand the problem statement, okay, and you can design a business logic for that, okay, and you can convert that business logic into the code, that's the only thing needed. I'm not going to that whether you should be an expert in coding, whether it should be an intermediate. Writing the code has become a secondary aspect in data science roles, guys. What is more important, that do you understand the data? why the data is like that, why the format is like that, what you need to get out of it, okay, what the problem you're trying to solve using that data. If you have the sense around those activities, writing the code is a secondary to that. You should be obviously, good at writing the code. That doesn't mean that you should write a bad code, but if you have a clarity around your business logic, ultimately it will get converted into a good code only. If you have no idea what's going on, you will end up writing a bad code as well, and that will not perform, that will not achieve anything at your end. So if you have the clarity around the problem statement and what the solution you are trying to achieve, that results into a better code as well. And Digvijay, almost the code that you want to write is already written somewhere. You just need to go on, Stack Overflow or some other website, you will get the code. That's not the point. The point is where you want to put that code and why you want to put that code. If you understand these two aspects, your code is already well written. You are already a good programmer. Digvijay, is that clear? So it's not about that you have, all the syntaxes, how to do the web scraping, how to do the database handling, which algorithm to apply, how to do the visualization. All that is available, right? A lot of code banks are available with every company. The point is what and where you need. Okay, so it takes really a good skill to copy a code and paste it, right? It's not that straightforward. You need to understand the context, you need to understand why you need it, then obviously, right, then you will definitely become a good programmer. Now guys, if you want to get into this domain, it requires a serious time commitment, right, from professionals or freshers, right? Whether you are a college graduate, right, passed out, or you are still in the college, whether you are a working professional, whether you are looking for a job, whether you are on a gap, okay, because of a marriage or family responsibilities, guys, you need to work on your projects. That is the most important thing that you should have. If you have the good projects in your resume and you can answer the questions related to the project, right, you can well explain the project, you can well explain the what was there in the project, what problems you faced, how you solved them, right, how you fix them. If you have the answers to these questions, I think you are in a good position. It doesn't matter whether you are a fresher or not, guys, okay? And if you kind of talk about that, what should be the technical skills, right, to become a data scientist or data analyst. So guys, as of now, for data science activities, I think Python is the most popular programming language, Python, and its related package. So related package like, pandas for analytics, okay, NumPy for mathematical operations, right, matplotlib for visualization, okay, and then using scikit-learn for machine learning algorithms, okay, maybe using Keras or TensorFlow. All of these are open source, guys, okay? Or how to put your application on the cloud, okay, all of that. And maybe how to use Spark or how to use Databricks, okay? Guys, Sparks and Databricks are the tools to process your data in a distributed fashion. If your data is very large, right, and you want to process that data in a distributed way, right, you divide the data into multiple clusters and process every cluster independently, then you need some tools for that, right? So Sparks and Databricks are like that only, okay? So that is there. And then you should know that how come you can host your project on the cloud. So it can be a AWS cloud, it can be a Microsoft Azure, or it can be DigitalOcean, it can be Heroku, it can be any cloud service, guys. Okay, so that is there. So a kind of high level requirement, guys, I have given that, what should be the right technical set for you. Okay, that is there. Now, guys, when I talk to the people, right, in any panel or any community, or when I talk to the people who enroll for different courses in our academy, there are lots of misconceptions, guys, related to data science job opportunities or getting a job into data science. The first fear that I find, very much, so I'll talk about a couple of fears now, guys, related to data science domain. What are those fears? Let me talk about that. I don't know how come they have developed this misconception that to become a data scientist, okay, they need a PhD degree or master's. Guys, this is not correct. There are only few positions which really require master's or PhD. Most of these positions are research-based position, but every position is not a research-based position, first of all. And guys, any company would hire a mix of people, right? Some of them might be PhD people, some of them might be masters, some of them might be, freshers. So majority fresher means the graduates with a, a BTech or MCA or BSc or, similar or MBA kind of degrees. Okay. So every company needs a right mix of the people, right? They cannot hire all the people who have a PhD. Who is going to manage them and what they will do, guys? Okay. So there has to be a hierarchy of the people, right? So at every level, people are required. Generally, this misconception is created by the faculties or academics people. They would, if you say, I want to get into machine learning, they will only give you a direct answer. First, you have to have a PhD degree. Then only you can do that, because it requires lots of maths. That is the next level, misconception, that you require a very strong math to become a data scientist. It was a 5 years back or 6 years back story, guys, right? Now you have so much sophisticated tools available with you. So if you just have a high school mathematics, right, clear, right, then you can very well perform in your jobs and responsibilities related to this domain, guys. Only high school mathematics is required. That's it. Every time you are not going to develop an algo, every time you are not going to write a code into a library, right? Most of the time, the company wants that you should be able to use the pre-written code or a library or a package and solve the business problem. Client is more interested that what you can deliver to the client. How come you can fix their problem? They're not interested that whether you know the maths or not. What they are interested in, at the end of the day, can you solve the problem? So high school mathematics is good enough to work as an analyst, or in case in future, if you need certain kind of areas which requires a kind of a little more depth math, so you can cover that area that time. Why to collect all the degrees first and then go for the job in the market? That's not the way it works, actually, right? So that is one thing, guys. Okay. Now, the third misconception, that I'm not from a good engineering college, or I'm not from a good, college. Okay. Can I get into a data science domain? Guys, nowadays in India, right, there are so many IT companies, startups, mid-cap, big one, even the remote jobs are on the rise, guys. Okay. While sitting in India, you can work with any company in the world, in the US, in Canada, in Europe, guys. Okay. You should have the right skills. That is the only thing required. So irrespective of what college you come from, guys, if you have the right skills, you understand the problem statement, you have good coding skills, okay, you have aptitude for learning, okay, and you can communicate with the people, right, in a right way. It's not about the English language, guys, that you have to communicate in English. If you can communicate, right, in any language, right, but that should reach to the other party in a very clear and concise way, then you can make it. And as of now, guys, most of the companies are doing the hiring through online coding, and uh, so now they are not kind of sticking to any particular college or a category of the colleges. You can take part in any competition, it's open to all, it depends on your skill now. So just get out of that fear that you are not from a good college, you are from a remote college, your college is not in a tier 1 city. It doesn't matter nowadays. What matters that you have the right skills, you have a hunger for learnings, you have the aspiration to grow in your career. These are the more important things than your college degrees. Sometimes there is a question which comes to us that I worked a few years back, now there is a gap of 2 years or 3 years because of the marriage or the kids or families or other responsibilities. How can I fill that gap, or how can I come back to the job? So because you already have some experience, so there is a sense of responsibility, a sense of maturity at your end. Now I think you can join any company as a part-time, or you can work as a freelance, right? Or just work on a couple of projects, right? And and then during the interview you can clearly state that why there was a gap and what you have done. Even there was a gap, even you were not doing the job, but you were doing the project work, you were putting your efforts, right? You were in constant touch with the things. So that story will go very well with the recruiter, that although you have a gap, but you are in in the game, guys. You are in the touch, you can do the things, you have a constant touch with the things, right? You are writing the code every day, you're working on the projects, these are your projects, okay? These are the freelancer projects, so that way you can easily fill that gap, guys. So these are the points I'm talking about, because at end of the day you have a question, naukri lagegi kya, right? At the end of the day, this is the question you may have, that naukri lagegi kya. And all I'm talking about is with the reference only, that naukri lagegi if you have the right skills, if you know how to approach to the companies, right? If you know how to explain your project very well, if you have the confidence that you have project, right, which you have worked, it is not taken from the internet, it is not taken, right, from your group, you have really worked on that, okay, then definitely naukri lagegi, okay, that I can give you a surety, guys.